This episode is sponsored by 22 Threads. Check out their new stores, New Haven Beats, and Nutmegger golf collections on 22threads.com. Hey, the college football season right around the corner. Excited to have Jelani Stafford joining us throughout the season on the podcast. So, Jelani, welcome to your first podcast appearance.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Jared, for having me.
Yeah, of course. Really excited to get into this. I mean, we'll dive right in. I know it's been a fun and long preseason camp already. How have things been going?
Things have been good, like really good. I mean, every day the guys are out there fighting, competing, just doing what we got to do to take that next step for this
Yeah,
season. So
yeah. As you kind of look back on some of your other preseason camps that you've had here at UConn, how have things compared so far this year?
this is the toughest camp
Really?
yeah, for sure. The toughest camp in terms of just the intensity of everything. Because, we've been under the staff with Coach Moore and everybody here for this is our third season now. Like
Yeah.
it's very urgent. We got a lot of things to accomplish that we haven't got to accomplish yet, like winning a bowl game. So just everything has been super intense and we've just been focused on putting the ball out every day and competing to win. So
When it comes to your game personally, what's been the biggest thing you've been working on this off season heading into the season?
honestly, just trying to strengthen the things that we do very well in the D line room, and that's just stopping the run and then changing the game and pass. Obviously, getting after the quarterback more, running to the football, making those effort plays because the guys behind us count on us, as in the DBs and linebackers, and vice versa. So
I know things are a little different this year. Now you got a new defensive coordinator. How have things been adjusting to a new DC?
it's been great. I mean, like we're flying around. Like I said, it's the word is intensity. Like everything is super intense. Coach Brock's very hands-on. He's a great coach. He gets us fired up to run around. He gets after us when we make mistakes, but he also shows us love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it takes. And like I said, man, just the new schematics of it, like everything is just it's starting to click. We're not where we want to be yet, obviously, but like it's starting to click for everybody.
Yeah,
All of
when you talk about like the new scheme and getting some of that stuff in, how much of a transition is that for you as a player trying to get used to a new DC and how they want to execute things?
At first in the spring, I'm not gonna lie, I did have a lot of trouble just trying to figure out where I fit in the scheme because I started out playing five, like a five technique, and then
Okay.
Dow and I switched. And Dow's out there on the edge, him and Price are on the edges, and then I'm in the center of it. So just making that switch kind of like helped us out to put us in the best positions, obviously for Dow being on the edge for pass rush. He's
Yeah.
faster, he's athletic in space, like and same thing with Price, like those guys contain it on the edge, and then obviously when the ball's running between the tackles, we all converge on it together. So
Heading into this season, seems like, especially on the defensive side of things, you got a really experienced defensive unit. How are you feeling about how things are at this point, a couple weeks away from the season starting?
really good. I mean, we got a lot of age, I'd say, obviously age and experience. Like we got so many guys who are in their final year of eligibility, or they might have a year left, but they've played a lot of football. And we just got to take advantage of that, having the experience than some of our opponents that will play later on down the line.
Yeah.
Honestly, we got a lot of guys. A lot of guys played a lot of football. So
Yeah. When you look at some of those guys, who's impressed you the most on the defensive side of things?
oh,
As you've been,
I like them all, man. We got my man Javon Banks from Kansas State. Obviously played under Coach Brock at Mississippi State. We got
yeah.
Jack Barton. He's a new DN. Then we have Jaden McDonald. Jordan Wright. All those guys, and like everybody's just been flying around doing their thing.
From the defensive perspective, as you've gone up against the offense, how are things looking on that side of the ball at this point here in camp season?
Now that Coach Gordy's under the he's doing the things
Yeah.
for the offense. Like the offense looks good. It's really freaky. They do a lot of different things. They get us to run in space. Big guys don't really like to run to the football, so he does a lot of stuff on the perimeter to get us going, and then try to gash us on the run. Sometimes those guys have been doing great. Nick Evers and Joe have been competing hard for the one spot. They're doing a great job. Helping each other too. It's no hatred. It's no slight to each other. It's all love. They all want to win. Same with, there's even guys in the tight end room that are stepping up and taking reps, like Natter,
Mhm.
Churchy. really good. Like guys like that, Brett Buckman on the perimeter making plays, all the receivers, all those guys out there, Skylar Bell. Like we got some guys, man. We just
Yeah.
gotta make it happen.
I know everyone's really excited for the roster this year between the guys coming back, new guys coming in, transfers, all that things. What do you think are some of the keys for you guys to be successful this season? And you talk about that goal of getting out there and winning a bowl game. What do you think it's going to take out of you guys to make that goal?
I feel like the biggest thing that people kind of underestimate in the sport is like the camaraderie and the bond that you have
Mhm.
with one another because you can go and get Coach Moore always alludes to it. There was a team, I can't remember the team exactly, but it was an NFL team when he was coaching then, and they had a super maxed out roster. Like they had all the greatest players. They were supposed to be, the best thing to happen. They were supposed to win a Super Bowl, and like it never happened because they were all me guys. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They weren't invested in the team, and that's where I feel like we have to make a difference. Bonding with one another, getting to know each other. Where are you from? What high school are you from? How many siblings you got? Like just knowing your brother that you're playing
Mhm.
with. You know what I mean? I made a good example the one day with Malachi
Yeah.
McLean. He's a transfer. He came in. Another one flying around with his hair on fire.
I think people are
But
going to like hearing all this flying around talk.
yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, we hunt. Like that's the goal. We got to hunt. We got to get after the ball. But I made a comment to Malachi, and I'm like, it hits different when it's someone that you're really close with. Like, let's say if Reggie's out there, they
Yeah.
played together at New Mexico State. They have, a bond. I'm like, if it's Reggie out there, you're playing with Reggie, you're playing for Reggie in a sense because you know him, you've built
Yep.
that bond with him. Now, if it's like someone new that you don't really know like that, it doesn't hit the same. You know what I mean? So that's why we're doing a good job trying to bond as a team and just bring everybody closer and closer together because it means more when it's your brother. You know what I mean?
I feel like you guys always find a way to do something fun during the off season or in camp time to kind of relax a little bit, take a break from the workouts, get to bond a little bit off the field. Anything good you guys have done this summer?
I mean, we do little stuff like in the summer when it was, before camp, we always got
Yeah.
together. We'd go different places. We'd hang out in apartments together, just different guys, like
Yeah.
just different groups of guys. And something the other day, and we had meetings, and we have a basketball hoop in the team room. So I always go down there before our evening meetings. I'll just shoot a couple shots, and everybody tags along and goes
Yeah.
and shoots shots. And then Coach Moore was like, "All right, before the meeting, like Jelani, you pick somebody on defense. Val, you pick somebody on offense, and we're gonna play a game of pig." Like, all right, bet. So it's just like it was little stuff like that,
Yeah.
little fun, stupid stuff. Like it's it all adds on top of each other.
I gotta ask now that you brought that up, who's the best basketball player on the team?
I'm not. I'm not sure. There's a lot of guys that can hoop, or guys that are just super athletic. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? A sleeper who you wouldn't think is good, or like I mean, he obviously has the size.
Yeah.
Torian Johnson, big guy.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
All right, there we go. I
yeah.
like that. I like this. We got a little competition there on the basketball side too. Summer is here, and if you want to be champion of the grill, make sure you're serving the best hot dogs around. I'm talking about Martin Roastals. Our friends in New Britain have been making their small batch gourmet hot dogs for 4 generations using Martin's original recipes from 1928. So if you want to dominate your cookouts, just like the Huskies dominated the tournament, be sure to grab some Roastal dogs at your local grocery store or pay a visit to their retail store on Grove Street in New Britain. As always, go support a UConn fan owned business. And now, back to the episode. As you're getting towards, right now, what you got just under 2 weeks until the first game here. What are the next couple weeks of camp like as you're getting ready for that first game at Maryland?
Honestly, we're diving right into it this week. We're gonna get into our dive into our Maryland prep. We're gonna start looking at everything that goes into that game, and we're just gonna put our heads down and continue to work through camp like
Yeah.
it's just what I mean. It's camp until the game. That's how
Yeah.
that's how we're looking at it. Like we're in that mode until game time. So just gonna try and continue to stack days. Look into their film and put our scheme up against theirs and see what we can come up with.
Yeah. I think as you look at this team and how it's made up, you're obviously one of the older guys on this team. How have you viewed your role as one of the older guys on the team heading into this year?
I just try to bring people along. Like being a leader obviously isn't easy. Like
Mhm.
there's a lot of days when you yourself have to find it. Like all right, I gotta get going today because there's someone over there. They're looking at me because they need that extra kick. They need that extra
Mhm.
juice, and that's really important during camp. Like there's
Yeah.
dog days. It's like days you get out there and you're like, oh, I don't
Yeah.
know. But you know what I mean? I just try to be a guy who keeps a positive voice around for the most part. Just trying to
Yeah.
bring guys along, even if you got to fake it till you make it, because energy is contagious. So as long as you just keep the morale high, energy high, positivity, speak positive words, like those things all to come together. So that's what I try to do in my roles, just be positive and lead in the right direction for the younger guys.
Yeah, no, very, very cool. I think last year, I mean, obviously you broke out both offensively and defensively. You spend any time with the offense during camp this camp so far?
Not yet, but we always have our little conversations. There's a time and place for it. So, like I said, we're getting into Maryland prep this week, so it could come up, it could not. We just keep it going until the opportunity presents itself.
Is that something you like, being able to have that flexibility, getting to be on the other side of the ball a little bit?
Yes, absolutely, definitely. I mean, I'd like to add that even if it's not me just like getting the ball per
Yeah.
se, like putting the ball in my hands, I'd like to be a component on offense to where I could go and block and do different things just to help. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean it's got to be pretty cool, being a defensive guy, getting to go stick some of those big touchdowns in there that you had last year.
yes, sir.
All right, so I got a few of these to help us like get to know the roster a little bit as we're heading into this season. So just some like I don't know if superlatives the right word, but like just some of the get to know these guys personally. Who's the funniest guy on the team?
That's questionable because there's so many people on the team that are just like hilarious people, like Aaron Key.
Okay.
Yeah, like Aaron Key, he's hilarious, like funny guy. Ronte, funny guy. Even who's funny too. He's like really quiet, but when he says something, it's like it means something, and that's little Brian Domino.
Okay. All
Like
right.
he's funny, he's super funny. There's just different people, man. It's just everybody's funny in their own way. It's 110 dudes in one locker room.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of razzing's gonna happen. A whole bunch of stuff's gonna go down.
Maybe it comes out a little bit during the basketball or some of these workouts you do. Who's the best trash talker on the team?
Oh. Jay Wright. Jay Wright be
Okay.
talking. Jay Wright be talking. I mean, I trash talk too sometimes, myself. But
I like it. I like it.
yeah,
How
yeah. I
much
don't know.
trash talk on the other team when you scored last year? Is that where it
Oh
would
no,
come
when I
out?
when I score, I just act like that's supposed to happen. Like it's supposed to happen. I don't want to say too much, and but I just try to make those things like routine. Like we
Yeah.
gotta boom. But on defense, when I make a play, it's totally different. I don't understand why.
When you look at this group, but given that there are so many returners, who's really impressed you, that you played with before, coming back and you're like, wow, they've stepped up their game to the next level heading into this year.
Tui Brown.
Okay.
Absolutely, Tui. Yeah, man. Like losing Jackson Mitchell as the
Yeah.
Mike last year. Jackson had a phenomenal career here at UConn, playing with the Panthers now.
Yeah.
So Tui really stepped up in that Mike role and really like embraced it, embraced the hard. He's doing a lot of good things, especially this fall camp. Like Tui's taking an even bigger step than where he was a year ago. So I'm really happy for him, really proud for him, ready to see what he can do at that Mike backer spot this year.
Yeah. Very cool. I'm curious because I know everyone's got a different relationship with the head coach. What's it been like getting to play for Coach Mora these past few years?
It's been good, man. Honestly, like Coach Moore knows a lot about ball. Like he has a lot of experience, obviously through a long career, the NFL, college, and things like that. And I'd say his niche is really like motivation. Like
Hmm.
that's his big thing. Like he obviously believes in us, but he puts a big emphasis on us believing in ourselves and knowing that we have the talent in these
Yeah.
rooms on our team to go and win games. So like I said, it's been great with Coach Moore and the whole staff, honestly, everyone who's still here.
Yeah.
And then additions with Coach Brock and Coach Tyson Brown, like adding just new people from different places. Even Coach Thorne too, like he's
Yeah.
on defense with us, helping the DBs out. Like he brings people along and we go and make the best of what everybody we got and trust in each other.
As you look at the schedule you've got this year, it's a fun schedule. Is there a game on there in particular you've got circled as a game you're most excited for?
Always the first one.
All right.
Always the first one, the next one. That's the one.
Yeah. All
Always.
right. All right. There we go.
Always. And Maryland, like Maryland's close to home.
Yeah.
Like for me, like I'm from
Yeah.
Pittsburgh,
Exactly.
so it's like that's the closest one where majority of all my people they can actually come to that one.
Yeah.
So I gotta make sure I get a head start on some tickets and get it backed out with my folks.
I think one of the coolest things about college football is getting to go to these stadiums and you get to see all these different atmospheres and environments in all these places. You've been here now a few years. What's been your favorite place you've gotten to go to on the road that you're like, well, this is what college football's all about?
Honestly, probably a big one was like when we went to NC State
Okay.
2022.
Yep.
Like that was a good one. And obviously, you got the Michigans and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and Tennessee, but NC State was really dope to see
Yeah.
that place. How it's like a real football oriented. Everything's football, football, football. Like, and they're not like a super big. Like they are a big school, but they're
Yeah.
not like like over the top big and always ranked. Like one of those type
Yep.
people. And just to see how they had the stadium filled out and all the crazy lights when it went black, like I
Yeah,
was like,
that's
oh yeah,
cool.
this is it. Like this is real football. Like this is
Yeah.
here.
I know a lot of people tend to sleep on UConn football a little bit. What's your message to everyone heading into this season about what this team can do?
Keep sleeping. If you already picked your side, that's the side you pick. Stay there.
I like it.
Honestly, that's how we're rocking. Like, we got so many people who put in so much time and energy, make so many sacrifices for this team, for this game. We're only guaranteed 12 games. So a lot of people don't really understand that at the end of the day because you play sports, but you're also a human too. So,
Mhm.
that's why we kind of stick to ourselves and that's the motto. If you're on that side, stay there. And this is where we're at, and we're going to continue to keep building and driving this thing the right way.
Yeah. I'll wrap with this one. I know one of the fun things for the summer for fans, everyone, and we were talking about this a little bit earlier, is the college football video game. What's it been like getting to see yourself in a video game? And are you always playing as yourself?
I don't always play as myself. Like I started a dynasty, and
Okay.
like we played the first year, lost in the Cotton Bowl. Played the second year, lost in the Cotton Bowl again. So I'm like year four now. My guy's way gone. There's so many different people on the team now, but the whole game thing, man, it's been great. Like just to think about when you were a kid, you're like, oh, I'm gonna be on a game one day. Like,
Yeah.
you're just chatting because you're a kid, but then these things really happen and come to fruition through hard work and trusting, and God and
Yeah.
doing what you're supposed to do. So, it's really been great to see this thing. And everybody at home playing the game, they send you videos like, hey, I used you on the game, this and that. Like, it's all good to see. So
Yeah, very cool. Well, Jelani, I really appreciate you taking some time out during camp. I know it's a really busy and hectic time. I'm excited to do these with you throughout the season. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun stuff to talk about. So thanks for hopping on and looking forward to these the rest of the way here.
yes, sir. Thank you.